Aaron.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is here, everyone. Thank you for joining me for more SBTV, where every day's a great day not to be in a cult, and every day's a bad day to be Danny Masterson. Guys, I didn't know there was two possible titles I could have given this video. Judge authorizes search warrants for Danny Masterson's properties, or judge orders Danny Masterson to prison immediately, because the order that I'm about to share with you guys does both. And in this order, the judge is pretty pissed that she's having to say it again. I'll show you guys. But the thing about the search warrants is actually even more amazing. It's the most amazing thing that's not being reported. Guys, before I jump into the meat and potatoes of this video, for you former Scientologists, former Sea Org members out there, I'm trying to find someone who knows Megan Oldfield. She was a video editor at Golden Era Productions. She was married to John Oldfield. She left the Sea Org in 2006. And when she left the Sea Org, David Miscavige was terrified of the authorities ever getting their hands on this person. So if you know Megan Oldfield, or if you are Megan Oldfield, please get a hold of me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Okay, let's get into this. Here is the order that I'm sharing with you guys. Look at the date on this. December 13th. Okay, Superior Court of California. The people of the state of California versus Daniel Peter Masterson from the Honorable Judge Charlene Olmedo. Check this out. Okay, the part about her ordering him to prison is right at the bottom, so I'll show you that first since that's the title of the video. It says, the court orders Daniel Masterson to be committed to state prison forthwith. Now, guys, I was raised in a cult, so I had to look this up and make sure I truly understood the definition of forthwith. It says, especially in official use, immediately, without delay. And you'll notice that it then says there, Daniel Masterson previously was ordered to be committed forthwith on the last court date. Now, I'm no expert, guys, but to me, that's a judge's way of saying, I don't like to repeat myself, and I'm a little pissed off right now because I'm having to call to your attention that I'm saying something I already said before, and I don't like that. Okay, let's go back to the actual, most of the substance of this order has to do with authorizing search warrants against Danny Masterson to find the weapon that Danny and his defense team lied to the court he had turned over, relinquished, and or destroyed. By the way, this is the same weapon that he used in the commission of the crime against Jane Doe 1. Out of the 23 firearms that Daniel Masterson owned, do we think it's a coincidence that the one weapon he has held on to, hidden, not given away, not sold, not destroyed, just happens to be the weapon he used in the commission of a crime against Jane Doe 1? Or was Daniel Masterson keeping this weapon as a trophy? I think he's keeping it as a trophy. Okay, let's see exactly what it says here. The court has read and considered the probation report, which is filed this date. The court finds probable cause for search and removal of Danny Masterson's firearms. The court finds probable cause to believe that Danny Masterson has failed to relinquish all firearms. The court finds that a search warrant is required and the matter is referred to the prosecuting agency for appropriate action. The court finds that 22 of 23 firearms have been accounted for. The court further finds that pursuant to the probation report, defendant has not relinquished nor turned over all firearms registered to him. Specifically, defendant has not relinquished a firearm bearing serial number 12110, caliber 32, make Kel-Tec, model P32. Therefore, defendant has not complied with the Penal Code Section 29810. This matter is referred to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and any other prosecution and or law enforcement agency. Can you say DEA? Can you say ATF? Maybe it's the ATF is more likely. For preparation of search warrants and or further investigation. A copy of the probation report was previously transmitted to all parties. Okay, some other thoughts. Now, this specific order is only referring to the one weapon that's still missing as of right now. That seems obvious, but as of 2 or 3 months ago, the court found out that Danny Masterson had in fact not turned over all 23 of his weapons 3 years ago when he was supposed to, that he actually still had like 9 or 10 of them. It is my understanding, and I'm going to get this, it's either 6 years or 10 years per offense. So, okay, let me gather my thoughts here. Tomorrow, I believe, is the deadline for Danny Masterson to make his appeal regarding his conviction. Nothing has been filed as of yet. We kind of expect him to file an appeal tomorrow. But think this through for a moment. Let's say Danny gets an appeal, or is granted an appeal, or right to an appeal, whatever. He's potentially facing more years in prison if found guilty of violating the terms of his probation and these California weapons laws. He potentially faces more years for the weapons violations than what he has already been sentenced to for the crimes against Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2. Those are the ones that he was found guilty by the jury of. So I have to wonder whether these weapons charges looming, the possibility of him being indicted on these weapons charges, whether that could actually be used. God forbid he gets granted an appeal, which I don't think he will be, but I'm just saying. He put himself in a very bad position here, because even if his appeal gets granted, the state could go to him and say, Danny, geez, I mean, we could go through the trouble of doing another trial, and then you'd have these 60 years of weapons charges that you'd be facing. Or you could just stick with the 20 years it looks like you're going to serve right now, and we could forget about the weapons charges. So it seems to me that Danny, through his horrible judgment and illegal behavior, has given the state extra ammo to use against him, even in the convictions that he's already going to prison for. And it is my opinion, what do I know, guys? I grew up in a cult. It is my opinion that this is why Danny Masterson's defense team, specifically Kate Mangels, let's not forget, Kate Mangels just happens to be the daughter of David Miscavige's attorney at another firm. In my opinion, this is why Kate Mangels tried so hard to obfuscate and misrepresent and lie to the court that Danny had complied with what was demanded of him in relinquishing these weapons, because she knew that if the state found out what Danny had done, or in this case, not done with respect to his weapons, that this could be used against him in from the defense team's perspective, fingers crossed, in an appeal. Yeah. Now, so at the bottom of this order, when it says Daniel Masterson is to be committed to state prison forthwith, guys, that was 8 days ago. That makes me think Danny Masterson may actually have already been transferred to state prison, and we just didn't know about it yet. I mean, if the judge says, do it right now, not tomorrow, now, forthwith. And by the way, I already said forthwith last week, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. My understanding is when they're going to do something like this, they don't even give the inmate a heads up. They're not even like, hey, the orders come in, going to take us 3 days to process. We're going to come and get you in 3 days. Get your stuff in order, clean up your cell. They just show up and they're like, we gone. So Danny Masterson could very well be in prison. So for all you internet sleuths out there, I was told that once Danny got transferred to prison, to his forever home, that we would finally see his mugshot. Now, I don't know what the logistics are on that. Does that mean his mugshot's been in the system, but for some reason they don't make it public until he gets transferred to prison? Or does that mean they take another mugshot of him on the way to prison? I don't know. I don't know how it works, guys. I grew up in a cult. But for you internet sleuths out there, it looks like the mugshot should be available. And if you guys can find it, please send it to me. growingupinscientology@gmail.com. All right. That's it on this one. Jan Schwartz, happy holidays, Aaron, to you and your family. Thank you so much, Jan. Happy holidays to all of you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All that good stuff. I have to, for me, because I upload 7 days a week, every day feels the same. Weekdays feel the same as weekends. Holidays feel the same. But I had to remind myself as I was inviting people to do videos this weekend or on Monday, that Sunday was in fact Christmas Eve. And I probably will take, 2 days off or something like that. We'll see, guys. No promises. Oh, my good friend Yak Mayhoff. Yak, it's always so good to see you. Wow, it must be Christmas as this stream actually started on time. I'm proud of you, bud. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to you, Yak. Always good to see you. All right, guys, I just might do a Q&A video later this evening in about 30 minutes or so. I sort of promised I would do one last Friday, and I never did, and now it's already Thursday again. So what the heck? Stay tuned for that. And I'm sure you guys won't get notifications because YouTube doesn't seem to love sending out notifications anymore or at all. So, all right, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end. Talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, Oh, Dancing for My Love, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe